Welcome back. I'm your host, Leslie Cottle, and you are listening to the Unlearning podcast, the podcast made to support you on your journey of unlearning who you are not and remembering who you are. If you ever wanted to give up in the middle of your journey, you are not alone. This week's episode is about keeping the faith while walking into the unknown. Keep on listening. So today we're going to talk about faith. Keeping the faith when you are walking into the unknown. It requires a lot of trust. It requires discipline. It requires a knowing that you're going to make it out on the other side with this experience that is going to serve you. And I had a really good test this weekend about keeping the faith, where this weekend I was I was driving my parents were driving me to the train station, and we left probably at a normal time that would have gotten me to the train station probably early. And my train was at 6:55, and we get in the car, and as soon as we're there, the GPS says that we're not going to make it to the train station until 6:55. And of course, that means I would have missed the train or had a really hard time trying to get on it. And I was like, no, it's fine. Let's go. And so we're driving there, and I'm freaking out because usually there's multiple trains. And if I miss one train, I can just get on another train, 20 minutes later, and it's totally fine. But this day there was only a train about an hour later. And my dad is just like speeding down the highway, and I'm like, is this like safe? Should I just stop us, and like, should we just go to dinner, and it doesn't matter, it's fine, I'll just get to New York later than I want. And I had this little voice pop in that was like, Leslie, you have to see things through. If you really want to be on this train, you have to believe you're going to be on the train, and you have to you got to go. So I started just creating in my mind like the ultimate manifestation of me making this train. I was envisioning myself walking onto the train. I was like feeling it. I was feeling it in my body. I was feeling so excited. And my dad's just like speeding and speeding. I'm wondering like if our energies of him like trying to get me to the train and me trying to like just be like, yeah, like we're definitely getting there. So it's like there's no problem. And I'm wondering if our like energies in the multiverse are just like, meshing and not meshing. And the time starts going up that I'm going to be and it's like, oh, you're not going to get there till 6:56, 6:57. And then my brother calls, and I thought it was a really great distraction from looking at the time every 5 seconds to see if we were going to make the train or not. And by the time we get off the phone, look at the GPS again, and it says we're going to get there at 6:54. So I have 1 minute to get on the train if we get there. And the time starts going down again, 6:53, 6:52, 6:51. And I'm really believing that we're going to get to the train. And we get there, and it's 6:51. And at the same time that we get there, I look down at my phone, and my phone says, you like literally cannot make this stuff up, guys. My phone says it's 6:49. And my mom looks at her phone, and her phone says 6:49. And so my mom and I, like, we're just like, what? Like, my phone says 6:49. Like, my dad's phone says 6:51. So I'm a whole 6 minutes early to the train station, and like just floored, like super excited because I get to get on the train that I want to be on. And I thought it was, and I get on the train, and I think it's just like the thing I was reflecting on the most was how many times I wanted to give up during that 25-minute drive. So many times I was just like, it's fine, like let's go to dinner. And like I just kept coming back to different thoughts on how I was not going to make it to the train that I wanted to make. And it's like this metaphor for life on how many times do we have the thoughts that we should give up before we even make it to the finish line? How many times do you stop yourself before you get to where you know you're going? How many times? I've stopped myself so many times throughout my life, because there's always a voice of fear or of limitation, or like a voice that says that's totally not possible, that comes into our mind, and it just like sucks the fun out of everything. And we have to remind ourselves in that moment to keep the faith, to be disciplined about what thoughts we entertain, and to know that everything that we're doing is always preparing us for something greater. So sometimes, that situation might happen and I might not have made the train, but we're always being prepared. The right thing is always happening. And there's a massive amount of trust that we have to have for ourselves, for the universe, for this journey, on that what we're doing when we're walking into the unknown is preparing us for life, for the journey that we are meant for, and for everything that is meant for us. So I want you to think about your own life and think about where you're keeping the faith and where you're not keeping the faith. Where are you letting that voice of limitation come in? Where are you allowing yourself to doubt what you are meant for and what you know in your heart is true? And where in your life can you practice more faith, practice more trust while you are walking into the unknown? And where can you have more trust and more faith in yourself and in the universe? So that is what I'm going to leave you with today. I love you so much, and have a great day. Tune in Tuesdays for more yummy and soulful episodes. If you love what you're hearing and want to support the podcast, please follow and rate the podcast on Spotify and Apple to help new listeners find us. To find out more about my coaching and healing practice, head over to my website, www.lesliecottle.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.